Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everyone, to the 3POA podcast, episode 2. Did you cancel your Rancor? Are you one of the toxic man babies that canceled your Rancor? I see you in the chat. I'm one of those guys. I am.
I didn't order it in the first place.
Yeah.
See, I want to order it. Guess I'm not gonna now.
Well, I am Laser Pants, joined by my friend Tony.
Hey folks, how are we all doing? I'm super pumped for this. Bobby's had a drink, so I've decided I'm going to have a drink.
And Bobby.
What's up, gang?
What's
Thanks
going
for
on,
stopping
man?
by.
There is heavy branding on this screen right now. I'm digging it. Look at this. We got the 3POA logos on the screen, on our shirts,
Except for me.
on our cocktails,
Odd man out, baby.
on my water, on my stickers. Not bad.
So what are we doing with those stickers, Ryan? What's the plan?
I don't know yet.
Need 500 stickers.
I don't know yet. I mean, good question. They were free, so
Put them everywhere.
Well, I want to make sure I get some into the hands of the listeners that want them. So I'll figure something out. I'm afraid of saying, just DM me. I'll send you some because I'll get inundated with private messages, and then I'll have to take out a second mortgage to pay for the postage.
Maybe no one wants to speak 3POA sticker.
Right. Oh, hey, we got our first super chat. Thank you, M Vargo 97. He says, "Here's to another great stream."
Thank you.
you,
So
baby.
Thank you very much. Long time supporter of the channel. So
Yeah. So on the show tonight, we're going to talk our top 5 Black Series figures of all time. And wow, what a coincidence, huh? Black Series is like the hot topic this week, man.
and complete transparency, I suggested the idea to Ryan over a week ago, a few days after the last episode. We weren't doing this because of the Rancor. It just fits in. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Hasbro Black Series team for giving us some great content, man. And look, I don't know about you guys, but I love the Black Series. I do. I think it's a great line overall. Of course, every line has its faults. So we're not going to totally crap on it. In fact, we're going to talk our top 5 Black Series of all time, the ones we like the most. We're going to discuss the Rancor, and we're going to talk a little bit about the new Spider-Man trailer.
Have you seen the trailer, Bobby?
Oh, yeah. Several times.
Yep. So, oh, wow. Another super chat. Sal Vader, thank you very much, man.
You're too
What's up,
kind,
Sal?
Sal.
He says, since Hasbro clearly doesn't want my Rancor money, I'll give you some instead. I need some of those stickers. I got you covered, man.
Yeah, you can definitely have some, Sal. Listen, let's just say, if you want a sticker, DM Ryan, but he'll only send you stickers if he likes you.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe he'll send you a nice signed picture, too.
That's only to my best friends. But you also have to try with having your home address, and I don't know if you want to do that.
Speaking of all the branding on the screen right now, I just need to tell the audience that I put these T-shirts up on the Analog Toys merch page, which there are links just below the description on YouTube. I ordered these shirts and sent them to these fine gentlemen, but I can't get one myself because they're printed in the States and they won't ship to Australia. So I'm stuck with a dumb Mandalorian T-shirt, which I thought was apt for today.
I think you need to move to the States, is what you're saying.
Give me a fucking job.
So you're putting that on me?
I need that green card, bro. You need.
All right. Well, how about we start off with our 5th favorite Black Series figure? Maybe do our 4th, and then we'll talk a little Rancor.
Yeah, that sounds good. And maybe then we'll do our number 3 and our number 2, and we'll talk about the Spider-Man trailer, and then we'll close the show with our number 1. When Ryan's saying all time, what I did, I wanted to have all the figures here to show people. So for me, it's not of all time. I don't have an extensive collection of Black Series. So for me, this is the top 5 that I have in my collection. So I'll put that out up front.
Yeah.
Let's do the super chats before we start, eh?
Yep. We got a couple super chats here. Andrew Sabina, thank you very much. Bobby, I love the office tour video. Valaverse HQ coming together nicely.
Thanks, man. Yep. That's my jam there. I love it there. I never want to leave when I'm there. It's
you just got to get
awesome place.
Put a little bed in there.
So my wife suggested that because it's like sometimes, I'm there watching UFC pay-per-views, and for me, they don't end until 1 a.m. So I'm like, she was like, why don't you just get a futon? And I'm like, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So.
And then Robert Diaz, thank you very much. He said, Hasbro is boning in more ways than one. I know this show won't disappoint. Let's keep it going. Yeah, and I just want to say we're going to have tons of great content for Scott Knightlick tonight. So you're welcome, Scott. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Well,
you keep chasing our content, mate.
Hey, man, when you're the expert, you gotta make sure you're calling people out. We can't have this show where we don't know anything, and then we need a guru to tell us, all the things that are actually, how things are done, even though, haven't been in the toy industry for how many years.
Look, mate, not all heroes wear capes, eh? He's here to save us from ourselves.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm so appreciative of that I'm probably going to give him a big shout out in an upcoming video.
He's here to save us from our own opinions.
I'm excited.
But without further ado, Tony, why don't you start us off with your number 5 Black Series? Okay,
my number 5. I've actually got 7 figures here on the table because my number 1, 2, and 3 are locked in. 4 and 5 aren't. Okay. My number 5 is Lando Calrissian in Skiffguard disguise. This was very kindly gifted to me by Wesley Hendricks. Damn, I hope it was Wesley. Otherwise, I've upset another supporter of the channel. I'm pretty sure it was Wesley. This is a really cool figure. I like the paint applications on the, what do they call these? A vibro blade? The weapon?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I like the paint applications. I think the reason, though, I've chosen this figure is probably a nostalgia thing. It was one of my favorite figures in childhood, the original Kenner version, because I think I had Leia Bouche as well, but figures with removable helmets would just, at that age, blew my mind.
The Kenner one was such an underrated figure. That figure is amazing.
It's one of my favorite figures, along with Leia in the Bouche disguise. So I do think there's something a little bit off about the color of the skin complexion on Lando's face, but I like to display him wearing the helmet anyway. And the helmet fits really, really good. It looks screen accurate. Just a really, really cool figure from Return of the Jedi and the only Return of the Jedi figure I have. So that's my number 5.
Good choice. Yeah. Not a bad
One
figure.
thing I'll say could have been improved would have been, you call it calf articulation, where you split it at the boot line.
Mm-hmm.
Boot
I
swivel.
kind of understand why they didn't, because his boots are really high and they're almost at the pin for the knee. But I just display him standing there like a gangster. It's good.
Nice.
I need to get that figure.
Before we get to Bobby's number 5, let's go to a super chat. Daniel Dorian, thank you very much. He says, out of curiosity, guys, will this be the format for analog live streams in general? Just asking. Great show. All the same. Keep up the great work. So this is the 3POA podcast. This will be every other Saturday. And Tony, I'm sure you'll do other live streams.
The traditional Analog Toys live streams have not gone away. I don't want to commit to doing them every other weekend when there's not the 3POA podcast, because sometimes my wife does want to hang out with me, even though she thinks I'm a bit of a prick. So no, traditional Analog Toys live streams have not gone away, but this is a new podcast that will be every other week. And it just happens to be hosted on this channel. But it's hosted by Ryan. This is Ryan's show on my channel because Ryan saves me from doing work, and I like that.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Daniel. All right. So, Bobby, what's your number 5?
My number 5 was almost a Lando. I picked this guy up the other day, which is a great figure. But my number 5 is actually Endor Han Solo. I thought the, this one and the Bespin Han were really close because I had both of them. And, Bespin Han's like my favorite version of Han. But there's something about this figure. They did a really nice job on the soft goods. The digital printing on the face is fantastic. The Bespin Han, his skin tone's a little too yellow. So they dialed it in on this one. So that's why kind of this one edged out over Bespin Han. But this figure's great, man. They nailed his likeness. Yeah.
I would definitely put that in my honorable mention. He didn't make it into my list, but
gotcha.
Actually, my one little nitpick with it was the soft goods. I wish it was a little bit heavier. I felt it was a little too thin.
See, I don't mind the thinner one because then it's easier to pose him. I feel like the thicker stuff like bunches up.
That's true.
But I get it. Trench coat should be a bit heavier, but I think they did a great job on the camo. Like the pattern on the jacket is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's upset me a little bit now because I saw that whole wave in a toy store down in Perth. It was ages ago. I think when I was down there, like around last Christmas time, I saw them all and I kind of ummed and ahed. Shall I pick them up? Shall I? I was like, no, I only collect Empire. And I walked out. I immediately regretted it because I didn't see them anywhere else. It was this one store and they had one of each figure. So now that you've put that in your top 5,
it was a good wave, man.
Yeah.
That was a really good wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine in the San Diego Comic-Con box set. Had Han and Luke and Leia, all indoor. And
sorry, I just read this comment.
Moss Skill 76. Anyone have Rose Tico in the top 5?
Well, now that you mention it.
Jeff Hicks.
Yeah, Jeff Hicks has about 50 of them. So definitely his in his top 5. So I have a second camera here so I can show mine if my mouse works.
Fancy.
Oh, we're getting fancy.
Yeah, it's only for the host of the show, Bobby. We're not allowed our own private camera.
You could totally have your own. I just won't show it on the screen. But my number 5 is the Hoth Rebel Trooper. Hasbro really knocked it out of the park with this one. It's an army builder, and they did it right. He has swappable faces. The second face is actually stored in this backpack. So lots of storage options. His rifle, this wasn't intended, but I kind of looped it through this hose. So he has rifle storage options. Nice holster for his blaster pistol. And it's just an awesome figure. The goggles you can put on or off. He comes with an optional scarf. So with the 2 faces, the scarves, and the goggles, I mean, you could have, I think, 8 different variations for this army builder. And what I'm hoping is when they eventually do the indoor Rebel Trooper, that the faces are interchangeable and we get 2 more faces.
That's not a bad idea.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Like if they don't do that, which I'm not counting on it with those guys. But this one, props to them. Excellent figure.
Good choice, man. Good choice. I've got like 3 or 4 of those figures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about the only Black Series figure that I've got multiples of. So
what was cool about him? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What was cool about him was that he wasn't a deluxe figure, and he still came with all that stuff. Like that was really surprising. That he had so many accessories for a Black Series figure, and it wasn't a deluxe. So you definitely got your money's worth on that figure.
Yeah, he comes with just as many accessories as the Cobb Vanth. He's got the backpack, 2 blasters, removable parts for his head, not a helmet, but other stuff. And the fact that he's an army builder and they put him out twice in the same year, they put him on a retro card and in the regular box in a main wave. It was really easy to obtain multiples. So, Tony, what is your number 4?
Number 4. This figure I've chosen here. I just like the design of this character. And this is also for my good friends Sal and Melinda Mock. It's Bosk. Because any Black Series figure with a movable jaw, like his articulation isn't great because of the design, not the engineering of the way the figure was made. Just he's a big bulky figure. I like the design. I like the articulated jaw, even though it only moves a little bit. It does move. He's just cool. And I picked him up on clearance. It was like a $10 figure. So
yeah.
Yeah.
He sat around for quite a while, his initial release, and they re-put him out in the archive wave.
I got him in the archive wave.
You got the better version. Yeah, like slightly better paint on that one than the original. Great figure. However, my nitpicks will be the articulation. It's almost useless on him, but just the sculpt and just having him in that pose that he's on the Death Star bridge. I mean, that's worth the price of entry. It's a great figure.
Exactly. The articulation isn't great, but I literally just pose him like he would be on. So I've got all of the Empire Bounty Hunters now. I've got a couple of versions of Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Someone tried to make fun of me in the YouTube comments last week.
I say Boba, but
yeah, it was like, it's the way you pronounce it. I was like, dude, it's an accent. Stop being a wimp.
If they're not making fun of us, we're not doing it right.
True.
They're trying to make fun of us, Bobby.
I was being nice.
So yeah, for Melinda Mock and Salvador Bosk.
Sal loves Bosk.
Yeah,
so does Melinda.
All right, Bobby. What you got for 4?
So 4 was tough for me because it's a toss-up between a really, really great figure and then a figure that came with a lot of stuff. I don't believe he was a deluxe figure, but he came with a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna actually pick him 4th. It is the deluxe Mandalorian removable helmet, the pod for Grogu. Was this one a deluxe figure or is this a regular release?
That was a deluxe. Yeah, that was
deluxe. Okay.
I think when he came out, deluxe was $35. They had previously been $30, but yeah.
Okay. Would I have liked his armor to be a little shinier? Yes, but I think overall this is an amazing figure. They nailed it with the helmet and the head underneath. Normally, the helmets are always a bit bulkier, but they got it just thin enough, and the head sculpt was perfect. The likeness is great. The helmet fits nice and snug, but it looks just like him. He's got his backpack. He's got his cape. Multiple blasters. The Grogu's pretty cool. It's not as nice as the single-carded Grogu because he's got articulating arms. But he's fine. But he also comes with, the tracker. and the the Beskar steel. Like it's a really really well done like figure, and the accessories are perfect. It does suck that we had gotten almost all this stuff with multiple releases, so when they finally released this one, it was kind of like, all right, thanks for making us buy like a third or fourth Mandalorian, but he was still worth the buy. So I dig it.
You really think his unhelmeted head looks just like him?
Yeah, that looks just like Pedro Pascal. Like I saw that. That looks just like him. He looks like this. He's weird looking.
Bobby, hold him up to the screen.
Yeah, see, I see more Woody Harrelson there or something. I just don't see
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, looks more like Rambo or
you guys are crazy. Know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Bobby, it's okay to be wrong.
It's my opinion, Ryan. Leave me alone.
All right. Well,
let me tell you why you're wrong. Sorry.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
So my number 4, speaking of articulated jaws, Tony, is this big boy who was very controversial recently, the Gamorrean guard.
It's almost like I haven't seen him recently.
Yeah, I mean, just the furry soft goods on him. He came with multiple weapons. I just kind of slung the axe through his back there. It's not meant for it, but it works. The articulated jaw, closed mouth, open mouth. It's just an awesome figure. I think they nailed the head sculpt. Articulation is fine. It's a big bulky character, so you're not going to get too crazy with the articulation, but just the sculpt and the paintwork on his face and everything. The jaw, like I said, multiple weapons, and it was a deluxe. It was $30. That's when deluxe were $30. I have 4 of these. At one point, they were a Target exclusive, and Target took them. They had a sale where it was buy one, get one 50% off. And so that's when I was able to get a couple more. Well, initially my mom, and there's a whole story about that. She picked up a whole case for me at Target. She went full Karen on an employee.
Nice job, Mama Laserpan.
Yeah. You can hear about that on the Infinity Equation. It was like summer last year. We talked about that. But
again, that figure was gifted to me by Wesley Hendricks along with this Lando. But where I've taken Lando out of the box, I haven't taken the Gamorrean guard out yet. So I haven't, studied it in my hands kind of thing. So he may have made my list had I have done that because he was still in the box. So he wasn't in the lineup for me to choose from today.
The original Kenner figure is even great. That's up there. Those Return of the Jedi figures are really awesome for Kenner.
He's a pretty good Friar Tuck, too.
Exactly.
This is very true.
All right. Well, so those are our number 5 and 4 picks.
Yep.
And since we ended on the Gamorrean guard.
It's a good segue, Ryan. It's a good segue. Is that why you made him number 4?
No, it wasn't. But they're putting him out again, guys. We did mention this on the last show. So everyone knew he was coming. I kind of, it wasn't exciting, but I kind of give him a pass because he was one of the 2 characters in Return of the Jedi that was eaten by the Rancor. But they did a live stream yesterday, and they showed the final 2 tiers, and they showed the painted Rancor. Now, as far as the paint goes, I heard a lot of complaints. Personally, I'm fine with it. I think it looks really good. I don't see any big issues with it. I know that the Power of the Force 2 Rancor and even the Sideshow statue, I saw comparison side by side. They're a lot lighter colored. And even the puppet they used for the movie in normal lighting, much lighter colored than this. But when you see him in the movie, he does have darker skin like this. So I think for me, the paint job works. I think it looks fine. What do you guys think? Tony?
It's the color of dog poo.
So, but as far as being screen accurate, what do you think? Is that you think it's a little too dark?
Yeah. No, to me, it shouldn't look like what the model looked like in daylight. You know, the real movie prop. It should look like how it looked in the film. The actual Rancor, I think, looks pretty good, but you know, when you're paying, what is this? Is this $350?
Yes.
So when you're paying that amount, and you know it's going to come with unlocks, they better be decent unlocks, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just sell us the Rancor for $250 and don't worry about the other stuff.
Yeah. Bobby?
I think the Rancor as a whole looks good. You know, the other thing to take into consideration is that that's a hand-painted Rancor. So the hand-painted stuff never ends up looking like production. There's always this nice level of finish in production paint. So I'd give it a little bit of a pass, just because I know that it's going to look slightly better in production. So yeah, as far as the Rancor,
but Bobby, how would see? What are you saying? This is kind of like a paint master. Like,
yeah,
how
that's
would you rank
that's
this against this?
Listen,
Teasing.
that Desert Rat figure is going to look amazing on production.
So, what do you think, Ryan?
Of the Desert Rat or the Rancor?
No. Keep on track. We'll keep on track. We'll talk about the
Rancor. Yeah. So I think. Do you think this is a 3D render? Because this looks vastly different to me.
That's a 3D render. Yeah.
Yeah. And there he is. There's our last unlock, Luke Skywalker. Now, to their credit, this is a fully retooled figure. However, as far as the figure goes, they didn't push it far enough.
It's retooled?
And yes, it's a complete retool. Now, I'm fine with that. I'm even kind of okay with Luke being an unlock. But man, as far as building excitement, this landed with a thud. I mean,
why did they retool this figure?
Well, I was looking closer at it, and I don't have the picture, but he does have those small butterfly joints like the newer Jedi mold does.
Okay.
Like I think the newer Obi-Wan Buck and
Darth Maul has them.
The Kit Fisto. But with this tunic, you're not going to get any range out of him because that tunic going over his shoulders totally covers him, and it's plastic. It's not cloth. So the butterfly joints are going to be rendered mostly useless unless you can take the tunic off if it's removable and just have him in his final dual look. Then you might get a little bit of movement. But also, Luke holds a lightsaber, right? He has no upper bicep swivel, which really limits the poses you can put him in holding a lightsaber. Real quick, super chat from Retro Blasting. He said, Ryan, can you tell us how many backers pulled their pledges when the Luke and Crumb were announced? I think within the first few hours, it was about 50, but it's been a day and a half. It's been over 24 hours. And we're currently sitting. I have the screen up here. Let me refresh. We're currently sitting at 4,872. Before the stream started, it was at 5,136. I took a screen grab. So it's pushing 300 at this point. But, not everyone watches the live stream live. So as people, they were at work, as they get home, they see the debacle, they learn about it, they cancel. So, Tony,
after their last live stream, I didn't even bother watching this one at all. Mm-hmm. I saw the unlocks on social media, and I'm like, I'm not watching that stream. That last one was so crap.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Michael.
Yes, thanks, Michael.
We're getting a new cloak, a new robe cloak. I guess it's a cloak. It looks fine. It's stitched in the front, which is kind of nice. And he does have the right wrist articulation for a sword wielder on both wrists, which is good. However, it looks like no boot swivel, Tony. And as far as in the ab area, looks like you might get a waist swivel, but I don't think there's any crunch like the original one.
I'm just trying to understand why they would retool this figure. There's really not much wrong with this figure besides the wrists.
Has the one you've got, Bobby, has that got boot swivel?
No.
Or calf swivel?
He's got thigh swivel. Which, in my opinion, if you have thigh swivel, boot swivel's not really a deal breaker, especially when you have ankle rockers. You can get him in much more dynamic poses without.
Was that the Walmart exclusive, or is that the original?
The Walmart.
Yeah, that one is
second.
Yeah, they really improved the face sculpt on that. The original release from 2014, I think, was horrible.
Yeah, that was
horrible
bad.
likeness. And still to this day, no one's really nailed the Mark Hamill likeness except for like Hot Toys. But
the X-wing Luke is the best likeness. Or no, the Snowspeeder Luke.
Snowspeeder.
Yeah.
Impossible Pie says, "Are their streams actually live?" I don't think they are.
No, they are not. I'm certain of it. They are pre-recorded streams that they put out later. Ever since some dummy accidentally announced the Rancor, they changed the way they do it.
And they're going to put this Luke on a Power of the Force card with the coin.
Oh, whoopee.
No extra. Still, yeah, exactly. Look, if you're buying a Rancor, if you're a collector buying a HasLab Rancor, what are the chances you're going to keep that massive thing in a box? How would you even display that? I mean,
yeah.
Black Series is like a loose collector game. I'm sure there's some collectors that keep them in the box and pin them to the wall. But in my opinion, Black Series is a loose collector's line.
Yeah.
And so this is a perfect opportunity. Make this Luke even more special. Give him some hands, some force wielding hands, right? He uses the Force to grab the blaster out of the Gamorrean's holster. He comes with the blaster.
They could have given him the battle damaged hand when he got shot.
Yeah. No battle damaged hand, no gloved hand. Just the blaster, the lightsaber, and that's it. It's very uninspired. It's lazy. And even though I would like a new tooled Jedi Luke, this just misses the mark. And by the way, the day before, SH Figure Art showed off their Jedi Luke, and it looks great. It's actually the Mandalorian Luke, which has a slightly longer tunic, and that's about the only difference. A black robe instead of brown. And it comes with the Power of the Force coin. Boring, if you ask me. Super chat from Jeremy Jernigan. Thank you, man. He says,
thanks,
chicken wing bones should be in scale. Probably a better accessory than what it's coming with.
I cannot believe they have bones as an unlock.
Yeah.
And it's the second unlock.
Yeah. Bones and a... Did we talk about... Yeah, we talked about the bones in the cardboard backdrop. Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Well, the bones hadn't been announced on the last show, but...
Yeah.
You were jokingly predicting, Ryan, that
right.
What if the next unlock is just the bone and not Luke with the bone? And I'm like, there's no way they're going to do that. And they didn't. They gave us a bone and some skulls.
Yeah, a bone and some skulls and a part of a box. I mean, the backdrop should have just been part of the box, right?
Yeah.
You take the Rancor out of the box, you fold the box out, there's your display. That's not an unlock. Come on. And then Salacious Crumb. Probably the smallest figure they could have included. I already have this. Now, not this exact one. They put some joints in his legs. Was he in the Sarlacc pit? Am I misremembering?
No, and this is my biggest issue with this. Have they done a 6-inch scale Jabba the Hutt?
Yes.
Yeah. That came with Salacious Crumb. Well, they offered Jabba twice. They offered him by himself, and then they offered him with his hookah and Salacious Crumb for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, to me, like when you look at the movie, the only people that go into the Rancor pit are a Gamorrean guard, Luke, Ula, and then obviously you've got the Rancor keeper down there. Jabba's throne room it's a different. Okay, the scenes are connected, but it's a different scene. So if they might as well have given us a fucking yak face because it doesn't make sense. From the Gamorrean guard being a figure that we've already got to this guy here who wasn't even in the Rancor pit to some bones. This is what I think of the decision making behind this particular project.
Yeah. And there was a lot of comments about that during the live stream. Like, they're out of touch. They don't know what the collectors want. They're just, I'm not even sure if they've even seen the movie at this point.
Probably not.
We do have a super chat from Brian Dillingham. No comment, but thank you very much, Brian.
But Brian always sends me a $2 super chat. Originally, it started off as being for my Black Series habit. Then it became Black Series / Valaverse habit. I've got to be honest, Brian, it's all going towards Valaverse now.
Right on. And
especially if Black Series keep bringing out this stuff.
We have another super chat. Thank you. Keep on collecting. He says, Tony's facials are cracking me up. Love it. You will need some Panadol soon, mate. Did I say that right? I don't know what that is.
Panadol is like aspirin.
Okay.
No, I won't need Panadol. But what's going on with my facials, man? I'm not. You haven't seen my sex face yet, so.
That happens when you get your Action Force order. Oh God.
Yeah, you might have seen that face in the unboxing the other day. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, and so he comes on the Power of the Force card as well, but no coin. Which, I mean, who cares? I don't care about the stupid coin. You know. And by the way, 2 days before they showed this unlock, they showed this same Salacious Crumb in a creatures pack that's going to be at the Disney store.
Oh, really?
So this is yet another repack. You can already have this by the time you get a Rancor.
So bad. So bad. Like, I was trying to laugh about it, and I'm just like, you see what Marvel does. Listen, I've said it before. The G.I. Joe 1, man, they came to play. They knew what they were doing. And their presentation was fantastic. Then it's like, they come out with the Rancor, and it was just bad from the start. You don't show a digital render. You show a gray model. It's like, you guys looked like, you were doing your homework 5 minutes before class started. It was just really lazy. And then it's like, you kind of know what you have planned, but aren't you reading the comments? Aren't you seeing what people are saying? Like, if you're not delivering what people are saying, then, man, you need to scrap this and start all over. They have a chance. Now, granted, here's the thing. They're almost damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they do nothing, there's a really good chance this doesn't fun. If they do something, they could risk looking very bad. Like, if they come out and they're like, hey, those streams we were all excited about this stuff? We were just kidding. Actually, this is what you're going to get. Granted, they wouldn't do it like that, but it would look that way. It would look that way. Like, you see how, like, fake happy they are in these streams, how, like, not genuinely excited they are. So it's like, you're trying to push this stuff on us, even though you're not really sincere about it. And then it's like, if you come out and say, hey, we're actually not going to do those unlocks. We're going to do something different. It's going to make them look bad. So what do you do? I don't know. For the sake of the item, you should probably scrap what you have and say sorry and, you know, come out with the 2 figures that were the 3 figures that we really want, and then, you know, save your product. Because at this point, it's not like it just plateaued with customers. They lost 300 customers, 300 backers. Almost. That's bad. That's really bad. So it's like, for it to fund, you have to make up this ground that you lost. And to do that when you're past the halfway point that's bad, man. This could very well be a Cookie Monster all over again.
Let's be honest. They are not going to say sorry and change anything.
No.
They won't do that.
Just like they did with the Sentinel knees, man. They've just right past that.
Yep.
I think that this still might get funded just because it's Star Wars and there are enough dummies in the world to just buy it. Just it's Star Wars, and you know they need another Gamorrean guard and another Luke, and some people just can't help themselves. You know, they're addicted to needing to have everything.
And you know what?
Good or not.
Yeah, me and Sal were talking about this. Sal Vader from 2 Cent Toys. We were talking about this before we started this show. And what's going to win out? Our principles or our FOMO? And I mean, I'll be 100% honest, man. I'm struggling, dude. I really want that Rancor, but I also don't want to reward, you know, this company for after they slap us in the face. And so
because here's the thing: if this doesn't fund, you're not going to get the Rancor again. Like they're, you know, I know. They're not going to like try this again. You know.
No, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like the HasLab model. You know, it's like they got you over a barrel.
Yep.
Buy it now or screw you.
Ryan, do you think if they offered you this for $250 with no unlocks, would you buy it?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I think I said on Infinity Equation when this started, like, I don't care about unlocks. I want this Rancor. You know, but then you have time to think about it, and then you see these unlocks, and you're like, what is this? I mean, I saw it multiple times. Multiple people have said it. It is a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face of someone who's been collecting this line for 7 years.
Yep.
I get that, you know, production costs have gone up and shipping costs have gone up, but $350 for just this Rancor. Look, he's 17 inches tall. The Sentinel is 26.5. The Sentinel came with 2 new characters. He came with 2 17-inch or 12-inch, I don't remember, bendy wire tentacles, 3 heads, light up features. So
it came with 2 new characters, did it? Like,
yeah,
it came with 2 6-inch. What was the first unlock?
The first unlock was I think the first one was a battle damaged head and hand.
Okay, what was the first unlock figure?
It was Bastion, a 6-inch Sentinel.
That's a new figure.
Yeah, he's from the Powers of X storyline.
That can't be right, Ryan, because I saw this Toy Guru video after we did the last episode of the 3POA.
Yeah.
Where he explained why Hasbro can't do new figures as the first unlock. And he explained it using some toy accounting or something.
What was that?
It actually reminds me. Do you remember he did that debate with Michael French of Retro Blasting? And when Michael asked him, hey, man, instead of putting the purple Nurple into the Maddie Collector Motu line, the Mighty Spectre, why didn't you re-release one of the very desirable characters like, you know, Teela or Trapjaw? And he explained why toy companies can't re-release figures.
Funny, maybe we're talking circa 2014 seems to be where all his knowledge is from. Nothing is from, post 2014.
No, but he
are different.
He's been in the toy industry for 25 years, Bobby, and he knows what goes on with HasLab, Hasbro.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. It's apples to apples. I forgot that Mattel and Hasbro are exactly the same. I forgot. That's my mistake.
If my memory serves me correctly, the first unlock on Galactus was not Silver Surfer; it was Nova, which is a new character, new tooling.
No, Ryan, you need to watch the Toy Guru video. He's here to tell you why you're wrong.
Me and my stupid opinions.
I don't care what it was that he said. He's right. Like it doesn't matter. I know he's right.
Listen, guys, he worked for Mattel, which is the same company as Hasbro.
Ryan,
and for those of you in the chat who don't know who we're talking about, the Toy Guru, I've got a picture of him here.
Being generous.
Okay.
I mean, guys, listen.
All right, we've got some super chats, I think.
He's a guru. Like, that's all we need to say. He's a guru. And a self-professed guru at that.
They made a movie about him called The Love Guru.
Whew. Fire.
Thank you very much, Matt Cropsey, for the super chat. He says, total fantasy, but I would love to see a Black Series Darth Vader TIE Fighter. I don't think that's fantasy. They could do that. They put a 6-inch TIE Fighter out at retail. It totally failed and sat around. I got it for like $45.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing
it wouldn't take much to retool the cockpit. Okay, the wings are going to be a little bit different, but I don't think that's not total fantasy.
Yeah. Did I miss a super chat or are we caught up? Oh, there's
no, there's a few super chats.
Robert Diaz. Robert Diaz, thank you very much. He says, why couldn't they give us a plastic door that could come down on the Rancor's head like the movie instead of cardboard backing? I'm right there with you. But I never thought they would do that. But that would be cool.
No, but have you seen that? It's not Sherwood Castle. Did you see that playset that Michael got from them?
Yeah, the Robin Hood Castle.
And it's got that door, and it's like, I know Michael's not going to buy a Rancor, but everyone who's buying a Rancor is, Michael, I reckon the price of that playset you bought is going to go up now because it's got the door. They can stick the Rancor head in, and so.
After I watched that video, I went to eBay. Couldn't find.
I did too.
There was none on eBay. So, good luck finding one. But yeah, I'm sure it's expensive. Brian Dillingham with another super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, why no Ula? I think it could have something to do with her being in a skimpy bikini and Disney not wanting to do that. Yeah. But again, this would be a perfect opportunity to do it because it wouldn't be at retail.
Yeah, it's adult collector.
Yeah.
Which by the Hulu stance only makes up like 2% of toy sales.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. That's right.
Does this not with HasLab products? Do they still have to be suitable for ages 4 and up, even though it's HasLab?
Yeah. Well, yeah. When they do stuff, it's part of their contract. They have to, they have to meet the standards and safety testing for that.
Now, Bobby, you remember the Hellfire Club set from last year?
Yep.
Emma and Gene weren't wearing very much, and Ryan Ting said, we're putting this in the San Diego box set because it's iffy. So I think Ula could have been thrown in here.
I mean, listen, as much as I don't like Dwight, Ryan does a great job. The rest of the team does a great job. Dwight, not so much, but the people that do a good job on that team are the ones that kind of make that stuff happen and think about those kind of things where it's like, oh, we can't do that. All right, well, let's put it with this. Whereas I don't think that same thinking is going on with the Star Wars team.
Yeah. Timothy Ward says, I want to see Desert Rat in a skimpy bikini.
Well, as luck should have it, Timothy Ward.
Well, listen.
Show it on the stream, but I'll send you a private message.
Listen, Series 3 is the female wave, so.
Hey.
I have a photo of me in Iraq, Christmas, I think 2010, Christmas 2010, going to the Christmas lunch with my team, and I was wearing nothing but a Christmas hat and a green Borat mankini. And it is the stuff of nightmares, let me tell you.
That'll be the Valaverse site exclusive for Wave
Listen,
City.
I think I need to get that framed and put that in the conference room on the Action Force past side of the conference room.
You're going to pay me for that photo, Bobby.
I'm making you an action figure, Dick.
I'm editing videos for you. What?
Fair enough.
Tree Theodore, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, great content, gentlemen. Like, subscribe, share. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Theodore.
And also, while I think of it, guys, since the first episode, Ryan has gone out and he's set up a 3POA Instagram page. Please go like and share that page follow that page on Instagram. Posting lots of stuff there. There's photos of our collections. Ryan's doing kind of most of the posting, but I send him some photos to add and stuff. So that'll be the best place, I think, to keep up to date with your 3POA podcast news.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be the best place to keep up. Yeah, it'll be the best place to keep up. I don't have any plans for making a 3POA Twitter account or Facebook account. Instagram is good enough.
Only fans, baby. Only fans.
Yeah.
Desert Rat and Borat Mankini on OnlyFans.
The Instagram handle.
Also, Valaverse, for those who haven't seen it, office tour videos up. Awesome video. It's like, what's about 45 minutes long?
45 minutes, yeah.
But it's not boring, man. Bobby takes you through the whole operation there. Dude, you've got some cool shit in your office.
Yeah, he does.
Well, not just your office, like everywhere. You get around to the modeling section, I'm thinking, I don't want to see Bobby's paints and paintbrushes. And then there's this super cool prototype of this thing you did in college, which I'm like, that needs to become a swarm vehicle. But yeah.
I really like that Acid Rain Sky Striker that you had.
Yeah,
that was cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so the 3POA Instagram is 3POA_podcast. So be sure to follow there. I'll post all the show updates and everything there.
Awesome.
And then, they made a pile of bones an unlock for the Rancor. Back to the Rancor. Just thoughts, guys. I mean,
is that a torn head?
Yeah.
How is the torn on a desert planet? It would have died before it even got into the Rancor's pit.
Well, to be fair, in Empire Strikes Back, I don't think the Tauntauns were native to Hoth because remember, your Tauntaun will die before you hit the third marker. So I think they were. I mean, maybe they lived in caves to stay warm on Hoth. I don't know.
Yeah, they build igloos and stuff.
And Jabba did have a taxidermy Tauntaun head in his sail barge.
Oh, that's something you can get off eBay. Come on, man.
Okay, that's true. Yeah,
Right.
Space eBay.
Yeah.
Speebay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Rancor. They have lost almost 300 backers because of these lackluster unlocks. 350 is a lot, man.
That's it. I tell you what. I bet they're doing that employee discount again.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, and by the way, there's your Ula right there. There's your Twi'lek skull with the headdress. So
we do get Ula.
Yeah, we get her skull, which doesn't make sense because the Rancor ate her like the day before he ate the Gamorrean guard. So how would that skull?
I mean, we've just been talking about how lazy and the little bit of thought that's put into the Star Wars team. Are you really surprised?
No,
I'm not.
And then my comment made it into this guy's YouTube video. Who is this? Oh, I didn't get his YouTube name. Dang it. Well, shout out to you, Guy.
Yeah.
But he was talking about, this guy canceled his Rancor pledge too, and he was saying all the same stuff we are. I mean, I've never seen the fandom so united in being like, this is hogwash. What are you guys doing? Slap in the face. I will say the Black Series team, they need to do something, but they won't.
I will say this: the one saving grace is that Lucasfilm can come in and save this.
Mm-hmm.
If Lucasfilm cares enough, they could go to Hasbro and be like, "You got to fix this. If this fails, this is bad press. Like, we don't want, it's like the first one that failed was, all right, it was a Sesame Street property, but no one really cared. This is one of your two biggest licenses that you have."
Yep.
And you're risking one failing, that would be really bad for them. So I would like to think that Lucasfilm might come in and be like, how can we fix this fast?
Mm-hmm.
So I would, if they do come out with something, if something comes out and it's they address this stuff and they fix a bunch of it, I'm actually not going to be surprised. I think they have to do damage control. For them to do absolutely nothing would be devastating.
Yeah. So while we're live,
chat here from Retro Blasting, he said, "I'm glad the fandom is united now, but the more important question is this: will Retro Blasting get an apology?"
How dare you ask for that, Michael?
I think, Michael, that people there's a lot of dummies in the world, and being a content creator on YouTube, you get to hear from a few of them quite often. I think they're scared of your intelligence, man, and the fact that you predicted some of this stuff. So,
yep.
Yeah. A big shout out to Retro Blasting, my favorite YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
Just while we're doing this, while we're live, let's do a live update on where the Rancor is. So right now it says 4872. I refreshed this before the show. I'm going to refresh it again. And it's still at 4872. So it was 5,136 when I looked before the stream. So I'm not going to do the math right now. But I think we could move on from the Rancor now. I think we beat it into the ground enough.
I agree.
Since Tony is not on screen, Bobby, do you want to give us your number 3?
Yes. My number 3. I'm gonna say that there's a lot of things that I'm not too keen on. Maybe you can call them flaws, but it's not going to take away with why this figure is great. But my number 3 is Jaina Solo.
Oh man,
yeah,
great figure.
This figure you told me to get when we were
sent it to you.
Oh, that's right, you sent it to me.
Yeah.
This figure is outstanding. Now, I'll say the things that bother me first. One, she's a bit too skinny. When you stand her next to a male figure, she looks really, really skinny. So I would have beefed her up a little bit. Her lightsaber blade is really thin, and I don't think just because she's a female that she should have a thinner lightsaber than everyone else. But like when I compare it to like all the other ones that I have, this one's like a toothpick. The rest are like, they're substantial. The way the helmet fits over her is great. She doesn't have the new better face deco that they're doing on figures now, but her face is still really good. She has more articulation than many Black Series figures. She has single elbows, but they get a really, really good range to them. She also has double breaks in her torso. Like she has the rocker ball and then the ab crunch, which is really nice. She's got all these secondaries. The holster's nice on her blaster. This is a really, really good figure. The detail on it's fantastic. The paint's good. So yeah, she's a good one.
And her face sculpt is a pretty good mix of Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. Like she has that Harrison Ford sideways smirk.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Better articulation than most Marvel Legends.
Yes.
Timothy Tangman, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, I want a Mara Jade figure. I don't know what she's going for in the secondary market right now, but I wouldn't sleep on it because I doubt they will ever put her out again.
They put her out before?
Just that time. Well, they put her out in 3 3/4.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that figure sells for nearly $200.
I'm
sorry. Yeah, Mara Jade. Yeah, she was in the 3 3/4 Black series. Yeah. I don't know if she's $200, but I'm sure she's expensive.
But they haven't done her at 6-inch.
No, they have not.
Okay.
And I think the only reason we got Jaina Solo was because it was a fan vote.
Got it.
And I don't think they were counting on a expanded universe figure being voted in, but they did it. I don't hold your breath for a Jason Solo to go next to her. But you know what? They have been doing more expanded universe figures lately in those comic packs and that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe there is hope. Maybe we will get a Mara Jade one day. Tony, what's your number 3?
Just real quick before I do that.
Sure.
Salvador at Retro Blasting. On behalf of the percentage of the fandom that's too busy licking windows, I apologize.
Guilty as charged.
My number 3, isn't it? 3?
Yep.
4?
Yes, 3.
My number 3 is C-3PO from the 2-pack, the Bespin Escape 2-pack with Chewbacca. This is, I think, the best droid when I say that they've done so far. A caveat there is that I haven't been following Black Series the whole way through. But you've got obviously all the accessories where you can unplug the arms and then plug in the sort of what are they, PVC vinyl attachments to make it look like all the wires are broken off. This is a really, really screen accurate interpretation of C-3PO. There's something about this figure that I just love. Only downside is actually not with the figure. It's the fact that they're still yet to give us a really good R2 to go with him. I've never been impressed with any of the astromech droids from the Black Series. So
they're way too small.
Yeah. People may find this a surprising choice. I don't know. I'm just kind of gauging the reaction on your guys' face. But
I was surprised. I said, I didn't see that coming.
But you know what? That figure used the Forlom body, which was an update of the old C-3PO body, which had no elbow movement at all. They were static.
Yeah. So, this has actually got like the gas struts that slide up and down.
The Forlom had that.
The forearm and
yeah. No, that actually is, I think, an underrated figure. That's a solid choice.
Yeah, I like the paint applications of the the dirt on the torso and the and on the head. It's a really, really cool figure. So,
would you have preferred vac metallization, or do you like the way they did it there?
Well, we're not going to get vac metallization. I think as far as because this is a fully painted figure. Like there is not. This is not gold plastic. With paint applications, which you get on. Almost. I was nearly going to show one of my other picks, but I won't. Parts of it will be painted, but other parts it'll just be the molded plastic. This is a fully painted figure, and as far as a painted figure goes, this is an excellent paint job. That's probably another one of the things that I like about it. So, yeah, good old.
Yeah, I actually prefer that over any vac metallization. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Well, my number 3. is from the Clone Wars, and he's probably one of the coolest bounty hunters, if not the coolest bounty hunter.
Cadbane?
Cadbane.
So last week I was asking you who he was. I didn't know who he was.
Right.
I've started going on YouTube and like watching videos that show like, his top 10 Clone Wars moments and I was like, I see why people like him now.
Yeah. I mean, they just nailed it. And this is 100% new sculpt. I think they just knocked it out of the park. All the detail. He's got his ammo belt there, his dual ammo belts. They got his gauntlets good. He's got the correct articulation for a weapon holding hand. So he can hold his pistol correctly. Dual pistols with holsters. They got his satchel. I usually prefer soft goods, as far as coats and outer garments go on action figures. But this plastic vinyl coat they used is really nice. Removable hat. So you get a full look at his Duros head.
Does he take the hat off in the show at all?
Yeah, a few times he had it off. Not very often, but yes.
Yeah.
He definitely did. Just a really cool, well-made figure. And he has these hoses going to his gauntlets, and they were really smart. They didn't glue the hoses in. So when you articulate his arm, you don't risk snapping that really thin plastic. It'll just pop out of the peg hole. So that was actually a really good choice on their part. But yeah, so Cadbane is my number 3.
Nice.
I wish they did that on the Boba Fett. They didn't do that. They glued these on the Boba Fett. So
yeah,
you're going to get some breakage there.
Yep.
We got a super chat here from Mike LeMay, who I hope I pronounced that correctly. Me and him just became friends on Facebook yesterday. I love Ryan's money shot camera.
The money shot camera. That's good. I should rename it to that.
Yeah, you wait until you see Desert Rat in a Borat mankini in front of the money shot camera. Like, well, that's the trifecta right there.
Yeah. All right, let me remove that. And we might switch gears here before we get to our last 2 and talk a bit about the Spider-Man trailer. You guys want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So I want to go last though.
Okay. So the trailer landed earlier this week. I think it was Tuesday. They dropped it. I have not been into the MCU since, the last Spider-Man movie. I feel like Endgame was a nice ending to the entire thing.
Yep.
The Spider-Man Far From Home was like a nice epilogue to it. But the stuff they put out since has just been a big letdown. It's been very boring and uninspired. But then we saw this trailer. And I was into it, man. I'm a little worried about it because whenever you have multiple universes, oftentimes writers will use that as a crutch. So we'll see how it goes. But I think overall the trailer was mostly well received. Bobby, what'd you think?
I just realized I totally forgot that this will be our second Spider-Man movie since Endgame. Yeah. I thought, for some reason, I just thought Endgame was closer to have happened than it actually is. It actually happened a while ago, so that was surprising to just realize that. But I'm with you, man. Endgame was my bow on it. I didn't need anything else. I haven't watched anything else. Well, that's not true. I watched Black Widow, and I wish I hadn't.
And you watched Shang-Chi, didn't you?
Oh, that's right. That movie sucked. I don't know what movie would want me that I would want to have those hours of my life back. They were both bad. Like when I die, I'm gonna be like, man, I should have been alive another 4 hours, but I devoted that to Shang-Chi and Black Widow. Shit.
Yep.
But this got me excited. I'm a little skeptical just because, when you add a lot of stuff to a movie, if it's not written well, it could be a mess. But, listen, Into the Spider-Verse was done very well. So I think that there's some hope there with this. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's funny that we all know that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in it, but yet Marvel's still keeping that a secret. Like, that's like the biggest kept secret ever. It's like the worst kept secret ever. It's like, just show us, man. It's not like any less people are going to go see the movie if you show them. They're going to be like, what? Like, no, just show it. Get more people excited. We're probably going to have another trailer that'll show them, or maybe it'll show them the way the last Ghostbusters showed the team. It was like them from like the chest to the waist with their wands. So it might be like that. Mm-hmm. So, if they do, it's good. They've shown more villains, Green Goblin and Electro and Sandman and Lizard. So it'd be cool if they end up kind of just giving that away. But yeah, well, I'm digging it.
I like what Andrew Sabina said. Spider-Man nostalgia bait. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I'm ready to bite.
I'll eat that. That's all day.
So, what did you guys think of Alfred Molina and the de-aging on him? Like, I was blown away.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. That stuff's coming a long way.
Yeah. Did you notice this red on his tentacles?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching like some kind of spoiler videos where they like analyze the trailer and they give like their theories on what they think, like why it's red and this and that.
And what did they say? What?
It looks like Stark Tech.
Yeah, Stark Tech.
Mm-hmm. So okay. I don't know how they'll work that in, but this is 2002 Alfred Molina, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
This was a really quick shot in the trailer. So do we think this is the James Franco Goblin? Sure does look like it.
Looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
He doesn't have the snowboard glider though. He has a Goblin glider.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a new Goblin that we haven't seen before. Maybe it's Ned. I don't know if it's the Ned from the MCU universe. Maybe a Hobgoblin from another universe. I don't know. But we get a shot of that. I love this. I love seeing that classic Peter Parker face with half Spider-Man face on a billboard. Usually they would use that when his spider sense was going off in the comics, but I like this integration into the Times Square screen. I thought that was cool. Looks like Spider-Man's still on the run too, because everyone knows who he is now at the end of Far From Home. His identity was given up. So it looks like this is picking up right where the other movie ended.
Yeah, that's like instant.
Yeah. So you got like news choppers here, or maybe these are police choppers, and him and MJ are there. I think that's what she was wearing, and that's definitely the suit he had on. The very dark blue, almost black and red spider suit.
Mm-hmm.
So we might see him picking up right at the end of Far From Home. And then we get that Sam Raimi era Goblin bomb. And we start getting narration from Willem Dafoe. I'm not going to lie, man. It gave me chills.
Yeah, me too.
The Sam Raimi movies are still my favorite Spider-Man movies to this day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man 1 and 2 they're still my favorite Spider-Man movies. Spider-Verse is up there. But the Andrew Garfield movies and Tom Holland's fine. But yeah, the Sam Raimi movies just it's weird to think that they're nostalgic because I was in my 20s when they came out, but they're definitely nostalgic. Were you not a fan, Bobby?
I mean, in my opinion, they don't hold up now. I mean, yes, 2 was great when it came out. 3 was really terrible. But, you go back. I go back and watch them now, and I'm like, these don't hold up very well at all.
The same could be said for Christopher Reeve's Superman, but for me, it's like they're of their time, and I still appreciate them, being movies of their time. I mean, certainly they could be done better now, just as far as CG goes, and maybe not as comic book campy as they were, because the Sam Raimi movies were a bit campy. Definitely.
They were very campy. I just look at it like I can watch X-Men 1 and 2 all the time, and I still love them. I still think they hold up really well. I don't think the same with the Spider-Man movies.
Even X-Men 1, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I had a special spot for X-Men.
Yeah,
I love talking to a guy who thinks Conan the Barbarian's. Conan the Destroyer is better than Barbarian.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Listen, Destroyer's amazing.
He does have horrible taste in movies. That's for sure. And then we get our first shot of the Goblin from a distance. I don't know if you guys can even see this. It's pretty small, but that is the Willem Dafoe Goblin suit on the glider. Cuts to we get a lot of Doctor Strange in this movie. This is how like the multiverse is being torn open, and these characters are crossing paths. And we get a shot of the new Spider-Man suit. Do you guys think this is Tom Holland? The Tom Holland Spidey?
No.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
Well, I think I was convinced when they show him with the spell on his arm, as if like this was a suit that Strange integrated with magic.
Definitely plausible. I'm not convinced it's even a Peter Parker. I mean, the whole idea of Peter Parker using Doctor Strange magic is kind of dumb to me. So I'm hoping this turns out to be someone else. I do like the look of the suit. The action figure they put out of this is not accurate at all. I feel like the gold they put on is a little too gold, and he doesn't have the red gauntlets or gloves. At least in this shot. But I guess we'll see. And again, Alfred Molina. Looking like 2002 Alfred Molina. There's his Octentacle fighting Peter Parker when he's in his Iron Spidey suit.
Iron Spider, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like he's going to switch back to that one after he had a new suit in Far From Home. There's a shot of Dr. Octopus thrusting him into a pillar, and he has the red tentacles in this shot, which people are speculating is Stark Tech. So, I don't know. I mean, this is definitely not... The trailer is not in order chronologically of the movie. But let's get to a couple super chats real quick. Timothy Tangman, thank you again for the super chat. He says, I can't wait for this film, but to me, the MCU Spider-Man isn't Spider-Man. He's Iron Man's little sidekick. Andrew Garfield was my favorite. Really, Andrew Garfield? I definitely see that. I wanted them to get Peter away from the older mentor type character. Like the first two movies, or the first movie especially, was all about him and Tony. The Avengers movie was all about him and Tony. I really just want a movie of this Spider-Man being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I would love it if he was just in Queens and Manhattan fighting someone like Chameleon or Shocker, or, well, they did Vulture, but that's what I would really like to see. I'm not saying I'm not interested in this movie, but I think we definitely need that. Another super chat here from Blackie Shepherd. Thank you very much. He says, first, hey, y'all, big fan of all of you. The Tom Holland Spidey films are a bummer for me because it's not Spider-Man. It's Iron Man Jr. Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
Yep. That's basically the reason why the Sam Raimi films, the first two, are still my favorite Spider-Man movies. And the third one is my favorite Spider-Man movie for the memes. Because that movie was very memeable. The best memes came out of that one. All right, another shot of Doc Ock. It looks like him and Peter are forming an alliance of some sort. Maybe that's how he gets the Stark Tech. Maybe some nanobots or something attached to the tentacles. And how do you feel about the Statue of Liberty getting Captain America's shield put on it?
That's blasphemy.
Did the Statue of Liberty get blown up in one of the Avengers movies? I don't recall that. Yeah. There we go. And there we have Spidey using the magic. It looks like that might be Electro behind him. Can't really tell. But so he's using magic. We got maybe Peter Parker using magic. I love this scene. I loved seeing Doctor Strange punches, what's it called? Ethereal form or something, punching it right out of his body.
His astral form.
Astral form, yeah. That was a great shot. Do you guys like Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange? I think he's perfect.
He's great. Yeah, he's really good.
Excellent actor. He does a good American accent too.
Yeah.
Another shot of Ock.
Try and find an American that does a good British accent, though.
Yeah, I think British guys definitely do American better than Americans do American. So.
Yeah, like Henry Cavill does it too.
Yeah. Everyone's doing everyone.
Yeah. And then at first I was like, is that Jamie Foxx? And I got this screen cap. That's definitely Jamie Foxx. But he doesn't look like dumb Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's got this new look. It's more like
Will Smith Electro.
Yeah. I love Electro as a villain. I don't know if Jamie Foxx was the right choice, but it looks like this might not be the Electro from the Andrew Garfield universe. This may be from some universe we haven't seen before, because the Electro from the Andrew Garfield universe, he became like pure electricity.
Yeah, right? He was like the blue costume Superman.
Right. Yeah.
All electric.
Yeah. And then that. He doesn't have the mask, but they made the electricity coming off of his face look like that classic Electro mask, which that was a cool callback. I did like that. And then the full-on shot of the Sam Raimi Green Goblin, which is so cool.
It's interesting that they kept some of the characters the same and then changed up someone like Electro. I wonder if it's because Tobey Maguire is getting 2 villains, so why can't Andrew Garfield get 2 villains? I was surprised they changed that up.
Tobey Maguire is getting...
He's getting 3, actually, yeah.
Yeah. You know, at the time when this movie came out, my biggest complaint for this Green Goblin was like, okay, it looks like a Power Rangers villain.
Yeah.
But how else would you do it? I know there was like the test shot of them with a more realistic moving face, which I look cool, but I got those nostalgia feels for this thing now, so I love it. I'm all in on this. I like the look, and like I said, Willem Dafoe was doing voiceover, and hearing him do Harry Osborn or Norman Osborn again was really cool.
I would like to see them do Green Goblin the way they handled Vulture. Like, you took a really shitty looking villain, very campy looking, and they made him look amazing in Spider-Man. So,
for sure.
It's like, how do you do a fur collar on him? Oh, give him a bomber jacket with the furry collar. Like, that was genius. He looked really good.
And then we see Sandman. So it looks like what was the actor that played Sandman? What was his name?
Thomas Hayden Christensen.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Church, yeah.
That's it. Sorry, Hayden Christensen. That's someone.
Yeah. So we got Darth Vader back as Sandman.
That's if Sandman and Anakin Skywalker have a baby, it's going to be called Thomas Hayden Christensen. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Kieran Ball said, I believe that is the same Electro, only with the new costume, and for reasons they couldn't include Venom or Harry. Well, did
Harry's
you see...
in there. Yeah, Harry's in there.
Yeah, did you see the new Venom movie? All I watched was a post-credit scene on YouTube.
Oh, you meant Harry from... Never mind.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I watched a post-credit scene. It looks like... Well, I don't know if I'll spoil it. Who cares? It looks like Venom is hopping over the MCU. I'll say that because the post credit of Venom is Venom in a hotel room, and there's a big flash of light, and he's in the same hotel room, but he's looking at the TV, and Tom Holland's on the screen. So
yeah,
he could very possibly be in this movie, and they're just not showing him. They want it to be a surprise, which doesn't make sense because they put him in the post credit scene. But I don't know. We'll find out. And also, we got the lizard here from Amazing Spider-Man. Right there. It's kind of dark, but he is there. Super chat. Andrew Sabina, thank you very much. He says, just seems to me that they're trying to ride coattails of better Spider-Man movies. Here's the Sinister Six. We didn't bother to set up ourselves. I totally agree. And that's what I was saying. They would use the multiverse as a crutch, as an excuse for lazy writing. They want to push this whole Sinister Six thing out fast instead of taking the time it takes, to build it up. And then
I've stayed relatively quiet through most of this.
Mm-hmm.
I said I wanted to go last.
Yeah.
But Andrew Sabina's comment just seems to me they're trying to ride the coattails of better Spider-Man movies. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I loved the first few phases of the MCU. They were absolutely terrific. It was, the cultural phenomenon of Star Wars that I grew up with. This was my son's version. Was the next Captain America movie, the next Avengers movie. And I don't think that Infinity War and Endgame are bad films. But they reached a precipice and almost buckled under their own weight. They did not buckle under their own weight, but almost. And, starting to introduce time travel with some quite bizarre rules about time travel. I watched this trailer and my immediate thoughts are, I don't give a fuck about anything that is going on the screen here.
Wow.
When they start talking about they're coming from different universes, my immediate thought as a member of the audience is, because I know I've read the stuff. I know Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. Why should I care about this universe if there's all these other ones? It's one of those story plot devices you can use to go off anywhere, but there is there's no stakes in the game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of started to happen with Endgame, let's say with the time travel. I think Marvel has unfortunately had its day. Like if they want to go back to grounded character stories, don't know how they're going to do it because they've done most of their iconic characters already. I don't want reboots of Iron Man and Captain America. And now, I've never heard of Eternals. Shang-Chi, I used to read Shang-Chi comics because Shang-Chi comic strips were in UK Action Force Weekly comics. It was a great comic. It was quite bloodthirsty. What I saw on screen, I'm with you, Bobby. I paid, I don't know, what was it, $16 or $18 for the movie ticket to Shang-Chi. And I came out and I felt like, bro, you should have paid me $50 to go in there so the cinema wasn't empty. It was a complete waste of my time. I fell asleep halfway through. It was that bad.
Yeah. When I saw Shang-Chi, I was in those theaters where you get the big recliners. You have your whole row to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I was on my phone most of the time. I was bored out of my mind.
And I feel like I'm going to be the exact same way with this because there is too much going on. There are too many. So which Spider-Man are you supposed to root for? Or are all three of them going to survive so there's no stakes there? Actually, there's no emotional investment. And it's... I like the Raimi Spider-Man. I'm not a huge fan of the Garfield Spider-Man. I do like the Tom Holland Spider-Man. But this is just a case of getting as many buckets of, I was going to say shit then, but buckets of fan service, throwing it into a massive pot and calling it Spider-Man No Way Home. There's no way home when there's multi-universes, because which one are you supposed to go to?
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Are you going to tell me why I'm wrong?
Well, I've been in the toy industry for 15 years. That's it. I shouldn't have to tell you why you're wrong. I should tell you you're wrong, and that's all that should matter. So let me ask you this, because I very much agree with a lot you said. Did you see the Flash trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that could be taken almost in the same vein. Like, is that too much fan service? Is that too much cramming old shit into a new movie, and then you're going to have multiple Ezra Miller Flashes in that movie? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great point, but I know I went on a little bit of a rant there, but how did I start that rant? It was, I really don't give a shit about this. I don't really give a shit about the Flash trailer either. I'm more likely to watch that because of my love for Keaton's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But what I'll most likely do is not go and watch that in a cinema. I'll wait until someone does a supercut on YouTube of all the Michael Keaton clips, and just watch his scenes from the movie. So,
well, I feel like this is going to be like the end game of Spider-Man movies, right? It's when they're all coming together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but it hasn't earned that. It hasn't earned that kind of level of Endgame, because Endgame was not the culmination of what was it? I get confused with how many Avengers movies there are, because I look at movies like Captain America: Civil War as another Avengers film. So that wasn't the culmination of
the fourth one.
Yeah. To me, it wasn't the culmination of those four films. It was the culmination of those four films plus all of the Iron Man films, the Captain America films.
Yeah, it was 10 years. It was 10 years where Spider-Man...
Yeah.
They've only been doing Spider-Man
Black
for
Panther.
4 years.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is going to sell a lot of tickets, and that's why they're doing it, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to sell a shit ton of tickets.
I mean...
I am buying one.
They don't need you, Tony.
Yeah, but you do, Bobby.
No, this will be like the first movie since this whole pandemic where it's like opening day for me. I'm back at the theater, you know. I'll buy my tickets in advance. Yeah. I'll take the day off work if I have to. But so just to get back to the movie a little bit, Sal, super chat, thank you very much. He said, sent you a relevant Spider-Man clip on Messenger. So I have it pulled up. I'm going to share that, and we'll see it. And this might be the wrong one. This may be how
Spider-Man
Venom
gets home.
Yeah. Well, this may be. Okay, it won't let me share it for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But this clip was, and you guys can see this on YouTube. This clip is from a Brazilian trailer. And it's the shot where you see Sandman and Lizard coming in and Spider-Man swinging across. And out of nowhere, Lizard just does this. Like someone just punched him in the face. So the theory is whoever punched him in the face was digitally removed from the scene. And Sal's theory is that that's Venom. Plausible. It also could be Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. I have a feeling Venom is going to be a post-credit scene. I don't think he's going to be like in the movie.
And then maybe the fourth Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, we'll see Venom.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks again for the super chat, Sal. Sorry I couldn't share that screen. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so there's our thoughts on Spider-Man.
We got Jeremy Jernigan here. Thank you very much. Desert Rat, don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's a fucking true.
Look, I've got to say, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
Well,
So
most people are, but just I don't know. Like Hulk's my guy. Hulk's my guy. Spider-Man's a little weed.
Well, I mean, it makes sense then. I mean, I'm not saying this movie is going to be great, but man, I want to see Tobey Maguire again. I want to see those Sam Raimi villains.
It will be cool. It will be cool to see that because that's the first time that'll ever happen in movies. Like, when have you ever seen it where a different studio had the rights to a movie where they did different characters, and now that studio owns or kind of partners with the original studio, and they're able to put every version of that? Like, that's unheard of. That's going to be the first time they do that. That's going to be really, really cool. You know?
Now, imagine this, Bobby. The Snyderverse continues, right? Snyderverse was basically setting up the Injustice universe.
Yep.
It looked like to me. Superman went bad because Lois Lane was killed. He's working with Darkseid. Let's say the Flash jumps universes and goes and picks up Christopher Reeve. And it's Christopher Reeve, but Christopher Reeve as Kingdom Come Superman.
Whoa. Oh.
How awesome.
Don't tease me.
Dude,
Don't tease
how
me.
How awesome would that be? And, I mean,
wow.
Granted, the face technology isn't quite there.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgave him for doing Luke and Mandalorian. And to see Christopher Reeve come back, oh, man.
That would be amazing.
That would be so awesome. All right. So we got another super chat here. Blackie Shepherd, thank you very much. He says, how do you have a Shang-Chi movie with one good kung fu fight? Thank you. At the beginning. And then a drag-ass middle and a giant CG dragon fight at the end. Thank you. This should have been a street-level kung fu movie.
The dragon just totally ruined it for me. The dragon came out, and I like face-palmed. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, the stuff in San Francisco, that was cool.
Oh my God, it's the never-ending story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So literally, I wish my wife was here, because I made that joke to her. Because when he came out of the water, I was like, oh, looks like Falcor just showed up. And she was dying. She was laughing her ass off next to me. Because that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah. Should have been a street-level kung fu movie. Crazy kung fu fights like scenes from The Raid, you know. That would have been awesome. But they went all magical and silly.
Speaking of wives, I've remind me to tell you a joke before we end the podcast.
Okay.
But, let's get into our final top two figures. But excuse me for a moment. Desert Rat needs to go pee.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'll get to our next super chat. Sonny Frisch, thank you very much. He says, wonder if the next one is Spider-Man Home Alone. Ah.
Well, Macaulay Culkin is the one in the black outfit with the gold.
Yeah. There you go. Man, I'm just thinking about Christopher Reeve as...
I can't believe you said that. Man, I hope someone does like a really cool digital render of that. That would be awesome.
Man, that would be amazing. All right. Well, while he's doing that, you want to get into your number two?
Yeah. Now, so we've each gone through three figures, and none of us had a match yet. I have a feeling this is where you and I are gonna cross paths here. But it is the newest version of the Stormtrooper. You sent me this, so I don't know what series or wave this was in, but this is the newest, all-new, tooled Stormtrooper. This is just about a perfect figure. I love the way they did the all the armor plating over a smaller body. Everything moves well. Like the shoulder caps move really well.
Mm-hmm.
It's got great range of motion in the head and all the joints. It has that glossy white Stormtrooper feel. It's a just about a perfect figure. It's my number 2.
Yeah, they nailed it with that one.
Yep.
Tony, you ready to show us your number 2 Black Series figure?
I am, and I noticed earlier in the chat people were saying that they thought this was going to be my number 1, but it's the Hoth Rebel Soldier.
Yeah.
I made an entire video just about this figure because I was so impressed. Because of the versatility, but also me being a military guy, like this is the most this character from the original trilogy or character. It's the most soldier you can kind of get. Like I do like the Endor Rebel Commando. But yeah, being a military guy, I'm like, he's got a backpack, he's got a rifle, he's got a pistol, he's got his equipment. It's like he's the soldier. He's not the pirate, all swanky walking around with his big belt buckle, one blaster. The versatility of the figure is terrific. This would have been my number 1, probably 6-inch figure of all time if Hasbro had done one thing and given us a pair of hands so you could make him left-handed. Because then you've got the faces, the masks, the goggles. All of a sudden, if you've got left-handed firers, you've got so many variations of this character. But yeah, the Hoth Rebel Soldier is number 2 for me.
Yeah, great pick. Sal Vader says, please don't end the stream. I still have 8 hours left at work. What am I supposed to do? My job? I work for the government, goddammit. Well, we're not going to end yet.
We might have something else to talk about afterwards.
Okay. So my number 2, and Bobby, they say brilliant minds think alike, right? So my number 2.
Look at that.
Stormtrooper 2.0, man. Love this figure. You mentioned the shoulder pads.
Yep.
Not only do they work well, but they're completely screen accurate. This is the way they landed on the actor's shoulders. They would stay kind of floppy and kind of hang down as they raise their arms. So they got that right. Even though there's no double jointed knees or double jointed elbows, it has as good range as the one that had, as the first mold that had double jointed elbows and knees. And you can get it in every Stormtrooper pose you want. Mm-hmm. It is a solid figure. The first mold, the 1.0, I felt was a little too gangly, too lanky, and the helmet wasn't quite right, but they nailed it on this one. This one looks like a human in white plastic armor.
Yeah, when you get a second chance to do a figure, you got to nail it, and you got to nail it like 100%, and they totally did. Yeah,
and they added the neck joint at the bottom of the neck.
Yeah,
so you get a lot of range out of that head. It's just awesome. Some people have said that his helmet is too small, but I totally disagree. I think it's spot on. So that's my number 2. And also the way they sculpted the armor. Mm-hmm. This chest and back armor is an overlay piece on the body.
Yeah.
So it just looks, it's awesome, man. I love this thing. So, do we do a drum roll? No drum roll. Oh, nice. Number 1. Bobby, what's your number 1 Black Series figure?
So my number 1, I will fully admit it's more of a biased pick for me. And also I've enhanced it a little bit. And I think it's going to be a bit disappointing for people, but I don't care because I'm wrong anyway. It is the the Amazon exclusive new Qui-Gon with the amazing head. So you can see I got him a robe. This is a robe that someone made that it's the baggy version like Qui-Gon actually wears, but you can take the Obi-Wan one off and it does work really well. Qui-Gon is my all-time favorite Jedi in the whole series, even though Episode 1 just reeks of dog shit. Qui-Gon was just such an amazing character. Liam Neeson's one of my favorite actors. He's just a really, really great character. And that the first one, it sucked because I overpaid for it because I wanted the first one. Because at the time, it was the only Qui-Gon they made. But his face looks terrible. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have great deco on him. And then they redid this one for that, the throwback cards. And they nail, like, his face is absolutely perfect.
It's better than the figure arts.
Huh?
It's better than the figure arts.
Yeah. They gave him better deco on his, it's the same sculpt as the first one, but which was still a great sculpt, but they gave him better deco on this version. So yeah, that's my one. I'm sticking to it.
I think it's a solid choice, man. And unfortunately, you got the one that didn't come with the extra hand.
Yeah,
the first version came with the peace sign hand,
which I have, so I can make the ultimate version of him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Or just shop Valaverse and you get 6 pairs of hands spare. So.
There you go.
Again, this choice might be out of left field. This is a Black Series figure that was gifted to the channel, and I've actually been asking myself. I kind of sat here yesterday trying to go through. And I ended up with a pile of 10 figures, and then I whittled it down to 8 and then down to 7. And I don't know why. This is my favorite Black Series figure. It's Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, hey, they nailed the Peter Cushing likeness on it.
Yeah, and maybe that's part of what so impresses me. The face sculpt is so spot on, and you're doing this from photographs. You can't do a 3D scan of an actor who's passed away.
Yeah.
But I love Peter Cushing. He's British. He's a military officer. I like the uniform. Grand Moff Tarkin, number 1 for me.
Awesome.
Good one.
They did actually get a scan of his face for Rogue One. So I wonder if they used that for that toy.
How did they get a scan of his face?
There was a mold. There was a mold they had made for one of his old movies. I think it was. I don't remember the movie. I'm sure the chat will let me know. But they had taken a mold of his face to make this big prosthetic. So they used that old mold to digitally recreate his face for Rogue One. So I'm wondering, is that something Hasbro would get their hands on to make a figure?
You never know. If Hasbro knows they have it, they could request it. It's a good question.
There we go. Scruffy Nerd got it. It's from Top Secret. So Peter Cushing did a movie called Top Secret. Yeah. But I think that's a solid choice, man. Tarkin was one of the coolest villains from Star Wars. And they nailed that figure. So, Tony, are you frozen? Look, yeah, it looks like Tony might have dropped off. All right. Well, Tony's trying to come back.
Hey.
There he is.
I'm back. Sorry. I don't know what happened there.
My number 1, and I'm a little biased because this is my favorite character's design in all of Star Wars. Not my favorite character, but my favorite character design. The first release they did of him, not great. It was great for its time, I think. Doesn't really hold up. But this is the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett.
He was in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Is that the deluxe one?
This is the deluxe one. This is the one that cost $30. He came with a bunch of extra accessories. He has the flame.
I had him in my top 7 as well.
Yeah.
Because I got a figure stand for him.
Oh, nice. But he came with a lot of great accessories. Yeah, so you got him all decked
awesome
out.
When you.
Yeah, I would have had him like that, but it wouldn't fit on camera. So.
Yeah.
But I love the blast effects from his jetpack and the flame from his gauntlet. So cool, man.
I like that his antenna drops down, Yeah. Unlike the original version.
Yep. He has the viewfinder, drops down.
It does suck, though, but it's like, this is my least favorite version of Boba Fett. Like, I like the Empire version so much better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always kind of preferred the Return of the Jedi version just because the colors on the costume are closer to the Kenner toy with the red gauntlet and that.
Yeah. I like that kind of military green. So, like, when he had it on his gauntlets, and then that's what his jetpack was, he just looked a lot cooler. He looked more military to me.
It doesn't have a spring action, but you can take the rocket off and maybe put a blast effect on that.
See, I really like the Episode 4 George Lucas Special Edition version.
The Return of the Jedi version?
Episode 4, New Hope Special Edition.
He put him in the Return of the Jedi costume for that scene.
That's right, he did. Yeah, he did.
I thought that was old footage, where there was a guy dressed like Friar Tuck, and they digitally...
Yeah, that was Jabba, but I don't think Boba Fett was originally in that scene.
No, he couldn't have been, because he wasn't designed until after that movie was released.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, so when they added Boba Fett to that scene, they put him in this suit. Let's see. Oh, super chat from Andrew Sabina. Thank you. He says, I'm partial to 118, so I like vintage collection. Any thoughts on that line? Seems like Black Series tag-along little brother. Hasbro has definitely done that to the 3 3/4 line, and that's why I no longer collect it. That I was exclusively 3 3/4 Star Wars up until they raised the price super high, and they dialed back articulation. I don't know if you remember the Rebels figures. They were all 5 POA. That was enough to get me out of the line. And when I got that, I think the first Black Series I got was Kylo Ren, and that was before the movie came out. That's kind of what got me into Black Series. And as 3 3/4 became harder to obtain, and the character selection went down, and they dialed back articulation, I decided to stop.
Yeah, I also think that particular scale with this franchise has been done to death.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much product out there from the early days of Kenner right through all Power of the Force 2 and Vintage Collection. There is just so much. It's a bit like the Spider-Man trailer. I think it's buckled under its own weight, and collectors wanted to go off in a different direction, and 6 inch is that direction. But Bobby, how about you read out a comment? Because there's one here from your buddy, Ironhead.
It's not an antenna, Bobby. It's a sight scope. You're wrong about that in episode 1.
I like episode 1 too, but I get the disdain for it. And it's not even a sight scope. I think they call it a viewfinder.
Yeah,
I thought.
But for those people in the audience who might not know, Bobby, who is Ironhead?
Ironhead is Alex Sanchez, our buddy from the Infinity Equation, also one of my oldest friends. I gave him a shout out or two on the office tour video.
He drew, I don't know if you can see it. You can see the bottom of it. He drew that Wolverine right there.
Nice.
That's one of his prints. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great Wolverine.
Well, and while we're here, I want to wish Alex massive congratulations on the birth of a beautiful daughter.
Yes.
So let's give him a round of applause, Alex. Well done.
Congrats, Alex. I was just
now the
about
hard
to say
work
that.
starts, mate. Now the hard work starts.
Yeah,
buddy. Just wait, man. Just wait.
Enjoy never sleeping.
Right. Enjoy not having a life.
Thank you, Wolfie762, for the super chat. He says, next HasLab, Friar Tuck deleted scene Jabba, complete with Scottish accent. Head changes with Gamorrean guard. Great stream, guys. Thank you. That would work, man. He looked a lot like a Gamorrean guard with a human head.
He did.
And then Sonny Frisch, thank you very much. He says, Bobby, do you have any idea why Hasbro decided to glue the helmet on the fully sculpted head of the Boba Fett Deluxe figure, saving the paint job?
My thing is because they probably, although they did it in 3 3/4, they had him with a removable helmet. I just thought that since they never showed him with his helmet, you don't know what he looks like. It's canon now that the guy that played Jango Fett, is now playing Boba Fett. But, I don't know. That's a good question. They do weird things like that sometimes. Like I said, they did it in 3 3/4. They let him have a removable helmet. But, I don't know. I mean, they did the same thing with the Stormtrooper. This Stormtrooper has, a sculpted head underneath that, you can't remove that helmet. So,
is it just so they could have one mold for removable and non-removable helmet?
Yeah, most likely.
Ironhead says, Ryan, you're a nerd for knowing that, but I love you. But I love Tony more. Fine. That's fine. And I'm a nerd. Look at me. Look at this room. Yeah, so what? And he also said, thank you. Well, you're welcome.
You're very welcome, Alex. It's people don't say it often enough, but you do give Ryan a very close competition for the best hair on the Infinity Equation.
You should see his hair in person. He has a thick head of hair, man. If you let it
grow.
So
do I in person. This is all a facade for YouTube.
Yeah, right. All right. Was there anything else we wanted to touch on before you get to your Gracie joke?
Oh, I've got to quickly tell the Gracie joke, and then we'll wrap it up because we're way over time, okay? I'll tell the Gracie joke. I was at work the other day, and me and Grace work at the same company. It's a massive company, completely different department. But I had to go over to her department where she works. And her supervisor is this really, really awesome chick. I get along really, really well with her. I bump into Grace's supervisor. And as soon as she sees me, she's like, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you privately. I'm like, what? So I go off into the office and she's like, do you not think it's weird that guy that's making an action figure of you sent Grace some underwear? I'm like, no, I don't think that's weird. So what? So he sent her a parcel of sexy underwear? And I'm like, how did Grace explain this story to you? She said that he sent this parcel of sexy underwear and you weren't bothered by it. And I'm like, did Grace happen to mention that there was anything else in that parcel? And we did it. She's like, no. So you think this guy literally just posted my wife a pair of knickers and that was it? She's like, yeah. And I was like, Grace, you're a fucking idiot. I was like, you sent me this amazing box with all this cool stuff in it.
That's how I roll. That's how I roll.
I had to defend your honor there, Bobby, and convince, some of the people of Western Australia that you're not a creep.
Well, thank you. And thank Grace for making sure that she, told that story accurately.
Also, Bobby has no shame. So,
listen. Yeah.
But what it says to me is, Bobby, that she was more excited by the panties than she was about Desert Rat. So,
see, I don't look at it like...
I'm now questioning her loyalty.
I don't look at it like I sent your wife underwear. I look at it like I sent you underwear for your wife. Like those were more a gift for you than they were for her. Let's be honest.
And it worked out that way. So thanks, my man. I owe you a couple of drinks.
And at least it says Action Force and not Valaverse. You don't want some other guy's name on your wife's underwear.
I was hoping it would be like the T-shirts with like Action Force on the front and Valaverse on the back.
Yeah, I wanted to put the Valaverse V on like the whale tail of like the back of it, but it would have cost too much.
All right. Well, I think that brings our show to a close. I did just want to address something really quick in the chat from Palpatine 1975. He asked us to speak on would Hasbro do anything to save the Rancor. We addressed that in the beginning of the show. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the replay. But we basically said probably not, because then they would have to admit fault, and they won't do that. So, great show, guys. Thanks to everyone in the chat for coming out. Thank you for all your very generous super chats. We will be back in 2 weeks, which will be, excuse me, I think December 4th.
3rd or 4th, something like that.
Yeah, December 4th.
2 weeks Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be back December 4th with episode 3. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. That's at 3POA_podcast. And
Bobby, you got anything coming out on the Valaverse YouTube channel? I know I plugged your office tour earlier. I know there's a couple of other videos in the pipeline because I might have worked on them a little bit.
Yeah. I got some stuff coming. Sal's actually coming by the office again Monday or Tuesday, and we're going to film another segment. So there's going to be a lot more content coming. Fun stuff. Things like, I got a lot of great comments about people digging the last 2 videos. So that stream we did with all the behind the scenes stuff, and then office.
That was so cool. Like, obviously, I was on the stream helping you, but because I'm on the stream helping you, I'm kind of watching what's going on, but I'm trying to focus on the chat as well.
Sure.
I've gone and rewatched that back like 3 times, so I can actually take in everything you're saying and taking the footage. And great.
Yeah, it showed a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, like I said,
it did.
Great reception to that video and to the office one. So if you guys show that you like that kind of stuff, I'm going to be doing more of it. So,
and I make a short cameo in that video as well. So
he does.
That was very funny.
A very good cameo.
Very good cameo.
Like that actually might even top Desert Rat in a Borat Mankini.
All right. Well, you could also follow us all on Instagram. Tony is at analog_toys. Bobby is at the Valaverse. And I'm right there on the screen at laserpants81. And until December 4th, everyone take it easy. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you later.
See you guys.